to Half the Battle, and welcome, my friends, to the 200th episode!
Can you believe it? We've looked at toys, comics, and cartoons 200 times! More if you count the specials. It sure is an occasion. But since we've only just had the 5th anniversary, I didn't really want to do anything special.
I do want to thank each and every one of you for being here for 200 episodes though. And now I figure we can just talk about how cool G.I. Joe is, or...
Hey, Timmer!
Oh God, not again!
I've got just the thing for you to review.
Really?
Yeah, here. Crystal Ball.
Why do you try to turn my special episodes into forms of torture? I'm not reviewing Crystal Ball!
But you want to. You want to.
I want to.
And you want to send me a 1983 Cobra missile command.
Don't push your luck!
Just do the review.
Fine, Crystal Ball it is. Yay? Now that I think about it, I don't actually have the accessory he came with, so I'm just gonna steal some footage from your own review. That's cool, right? Great! I knew you'd be on board!
Okay, let's do this. But to do so, we've got to delve into the past of the G.I. Joe fandom.
You could even say, I'm gonna take you back to the past to play with crappy toys that suck ass. I'd rather have a buffalo take a diarrhea dump in my ear. I'd rather eat the rotting asshole of a roadkill skunk and down it with beer. I'm the angriest toy guy you've ever heard. I'm the angry G.I. Joe nerd. I'm the angry Mass Transformers nerd. I'm the angry action figure nerd.
If you're confused, I felt it important to pay homage to the angry video game nerd. He's the granddaddy of all us video reviewers, and we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him showing us the way. So, thanks, nerd.
But I did mean what I said. We have to go way back into the fandom's past for this one.
In the late 90s and early 2000s, I did some polls on the G.I. Joe mailing lists and forums to find out everybody's favorite and least favorite things about G.I. Joe. I then poured those results into a written award show.
I did this for like 3 years, and every single time, Crystal Ball came up as the worst character ever. So today, let's find out why.
Meet Crystal Ball. This figure was unleashed on the world in 1987 with all original body parts. And the first thing I notice is the outfit. This doesn't look like a G.I. Joe or Cobra figure. This looks medieval. It looks like the starting gear a rogue gets in World of Warcraft. He's got this hairstyle that's shared by other peculiar characters like Dr. Strange and Grandpa Munster. Does that style have a name like the Rachel or the Mo does? Come to think of it, HCC kinda has the same thing going, doesn't he?
Hey, Steve, do you model your hair on Crystal Ball? Myth confirmed!
Anyway, the guy sure looks angry, what with his gritted teeth and all. Well, angry or constipated. Probably constipated. I do like the evil red eyes they gave him. That is sorta unique among G.I. Joe figures.
There's not much more to say, really.
He looks like he just walked out of a Ren fair. In fact, the only modern thing about him is the molded gun and holster on his leg. Though, in the interest of fairness, I will say the figure has the same attention to detailing all figures from that time had, like the stitching on the vest and the paint on the hair.
Too bad it's wasted on a toy like this.
To be even more fair, I don't think this is the worst figure ever in the toy line, especially compared to the later Neon crap. But I believe the fandom's hatred is more directed at the character, which is the next thing we'll talk about, since Crystal Ball only ever got one figure.
Not just in the original line, but ever.
Even the G.I. Joe Collectors Club hasn't seen fit to release a Crystal Ball toy. And they have been known to scrape the bottom of the barrel. I mean, even Raptor, the bird guy, got a Collectors Club toy. Yeah, even the bird tax accountant got a second toy.
Oh wait, I almost forgot. He did come with that accessory, didn't he?
He had a shield. A hypno shield, to be precise. Yeah. Oh well, at least it's fun for kids, I guess. I mean, it is lenticular, so it has some nice play value. And I think that's the nicest thing I can say about this figure, really. Kids could like it, which I guess is the point of a toy line. Doesn't mean I have to like it, though.
With that, let's move on to the character, starting with the file card.
And first of all, we have to talk about the legend that surrounds this particular card. It is believed that either Stephen King or his son Owen wrote it. There's three main reasons for that. 1. Sneak Peek was named after Owen King, so there is a connection there. 2. The file card is about a character you could associate with a horror writer. And 3. The card mentions Crystal Ball's mother is from Maine, same birthplace as Stephen King and the location of a lot of his stories.
As far as I know, this has never been confirmed.
I did try asking both Mr. King and his son on Twitter, but didn't hear back. It does seem plausible to me, though.
Lousy celebrities on Twitter. Patrick Stewart never got back to me about how the transporters worked on Star Trek either.
Anyway, this guy is the Cobra Hypnotist. 'Cause they really needed one, I guess. I mean, at least Raptor was an accountant, so he could do the commander's books or something. This guy, not so much. Crystal Ball's father was, Romalian.
Yeah, Google doesn't know what the hell that means, by the way.
My best guess is that it's an archaic term for Romanian gypsies, but for all I know, they could mean he's a Romulan. Apologies that the term gypsies comes up, but the file card uses it, so I can't really get around it. It was the mid-80s after all. Crystal Ball was the seventh son of a seventh son, and for some reason, that made him able to read minds.
Oh yeah, he's a freaking mind reader!
Not sure what that has to do with hypnotism, but here we are. Come to think of it, the card's body of text doesn't actually mention hypnotizing at all. It just goes on about his mind-reading ability.
Ugh!
Oh, and considering his name is Crystal Ball, you would think that he would be able to see the future, but that's not the case. The card only mentions his father having some kind of second sight, but not him.
So his name doesn't even make sense!
Now, Crystal Ball never showed up in the cartoons, which is actually a shame, since, well, he'd fit right in there. We've seen people with mind powers and other spooky stuff like ghosts, so I would have been okay with the character if he had only been shown in the cartoon, and if he wasn't a part of the toy line. As far as the comics go, well, he isn't in them either.
With one awful exception.
He shows up in one issue, Special Missions issue 24, Ladies' Day. And if I can just go back to those polls I did, yeah, this issue has always won the Worst G.I. Joe Comic Award 3 years running.
Coincidence? I think not.
I won't go into the story here, believe me, its time will come, but I will give you the Seventh Son's brief appearance.
He shows up for like 8 panels.
He hypnotizes some of the Joes, then later gets knocked out by Lady J.
Truly an appearance worthy of remembrance.
Incidentally, Crystal Ball was never released here in Belgium as a toy, but the comic series was. I only have the Dutch version at the moment, so you're seeing pictures from that. And since it's in Dutch, we can see what name he might have gotten if the toy had been sold here. He's called Hypno, which is a bit better than Crystal Ball, I guess, but not by much. There, that was some bonus foreign file card fun for ya. And that was Crystal Ball. In conclusion, this figure really doesn't belong in the G.I. Joe line. The character could have fit in the cartoon somewhat, but nowhere else. This guy was just a bad concept from the get-go.
One thing did surprise me when delving into this review though. I found I didn't have the hatred or the vitriol for the character that I thought I'd have.
My feeling is more like, yeah, this guy sucks, but I'm not deeply offended by his existence. And he's fun for kids, I guess. Still, this is a figure and character I would avoid. What a weird screwball.
Also, there's only one hypnotist that's worth it in pop culture.
All hail the Hypnotoad.
There, now that wasn't so bad, was it?
I will find out where you live.
Now, let's talk about your 250th episode.
Bye! I think I left the oven on.
I don't think he's coming back. He'll see you next time, everybody. And hey, why not like, share, and subscribe if that's your thing?
Money down.
And your bollocks did up good, you did.
Lousy celebrities on Twitter. Patrick Stewart never got back to me about how the Star Trek things did. Yeah, lost my train of thought there.